This is a quick video to help you to draw this detail. And if you take a look at the step-by-step sheet here, we're drawing it basically in 2D and then using press pull and drawing circles on the side face of this box, and then using here union to union these two pieces or three pieces together, four actually. So we can go back and take a look at some of these dimensions that we're going to be using. First of all, we have 2.5 between the circles. So if we start the line, we can pick a point, pull our mouse over, type in 2.5 and enter, and then enter again. And this line is going to determine where the circles are. So now if I look at the circle radius, here I have a radius of 1 for the bigger circle and a radius of 0.5 for the smaller one for both sides. So I can start here circle center radius and then click and type in 0.5 and enter. And then I can here start the command again, click and type in 1 and enter. Now you could draw those again, but I think it's good practice to use copy. So here in the modified panel, I'm in the workspace called 3D modeling. Still, we can start the copy command and select these two circles, enter them, and then pick a base point here at the left side to establish a point where we want to pick them up, and then over here click and you've just copied them. Use your escape key to go back to the command line. Now we're ready to draw a line from the top of this circle to the top of the other circle. To do that, we're going to need to use the Quadrant object snap. The sixth icon here is the object snap icon. You can rest your pointer on that icon, right click, and make sure that you have a blue box here in front of Quadrant. If you don't, you can go ahead and click on Quadrant to get that. Now I can start the line command, and here's my Quadrant object snap. I can click there and click here. And I know that I can start the line command again and create another line here and here. And we can start the line command again and create here lines from quadrant to quadrant. I can right click and pick enter and then right click and repeat the last command that I just used, and that's what I was doing to get back to the line command instead of going back up into the panel each time. Also, we have the fifth and sixth icon. They're blue and on down here at the bottom. Those are the only two that we need right now. Some people like to use ortho, which is also another way of drawing straight lines. And some people like to have dynamic input on, which will put the dialog with AutoCAD at your pointer instead of in the command line, and you have some options here for typing in your length and tabbing to type in your angle. So I'm going to go ahead and escape out of that and turn that off. So for this basic detail, we're using the fifth and sixth icon for now. Okay. We also need to draw a line from the midpoint of the center line down to the midpoint of this line so that we can offset it half of 1.25 to find this opening. It doesn't show here, but it does kind of line up with this circle edge, which is a radius of 0.625. That's a way of finding out that the radius, which is half of 1.25, is lining up with this opening. So we'll use the offset command right here in the bottom row of the modify panel. We can start the offset command, type in 0.625 and enter, and then select this line and pick to the right select this line again, the same one, and pick to the left. And now that kind of establishes the opening there. If you look at my step-by-step instructions, it's starting to look a little bit like what we need before we start to trim. There are several ways of working with this detail. In step 3, you'll see that there are a couple of lines here that represent an extension of this opening, so I'll just go ahead and click on this line and pick inside the blue grip, pull my mouse up and click so that I can extend or stretch these lines up to meet the back line right here. I'll use my escape key to get rid of those grips. So now I'm ready to trim. I can start the trim command and press enter, because when you start the trim command and press enter, everything becomes a cutting edge. So now I can just continue clicking until I get to a point of establishing here what I need in step 3 over there. Now, if I pick on this side of the arc, I'm just going to have an extra piece here. See, if I click on it, nothing happens because there's nothing crossing over it. There's nothing to trim back to that line. So I can actually click in space and pull your mouse across the whole line of objects. And continue clicking until you get as many of these objects trimmed out here, knowing that some of these are going to be extra objects that we'll need to erase. Now, I accidentally clicked on this one. You can type in U and enter to get that last one back. So I'll go ahead and click on this little piece here. Now I've got these extra pieces here. I can enter and use the erase command to erase whatever pieces you have left here to clean it up. I'll go to the southeast isometric view using this view cube, the bottom right corner of this box, and now I'm ready to use press pull. Okay, press pull is in the modeling tab. This is a small blue icon here. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Let's see what the distance is. We have 0.5 as the height for this smaller piece, and then I'm going to use press pull to create a box that goes up to 1, which only goes half of this arc. So I'll go ahead and click on here. So put your pointer here in this closed shape until the boundary highlights, and then click inside of it. Pull your mouse up, type in 0.5 and enter, and do the same thing over here. Click, type in 0.5 and enter, and then this one here I'm going to click and pull my mouse up, type in 1 and enter. Use your escape key to get out of press pull. You can go to the view tab and change here your visual style from 2D wireframe to conceptual. Now I changed my background to white. Yours might be black with a white model, whatever you prefer. Earlier I had said you could right click and pick options to change your background. Under the display tab you can click on colors, and whatever space you're in then will go here as the default for context, and change your color here if you'd like to have a white background. I'll go ahead and cancel out of that. Okay, so now I want to draw on the face of this box so that I can draw my circle here at the midpoint. To do that, I'll need to have this icon at the bottom, blue or on. It's called Allow Disallow Dynamic UCS. It looks like kind of an L shape with a lightning bolt there. As long as that is on, I can start the circle center diameter. So you have to watch your diameter and radius One is diameter and one is radius. So here I'll start diameter. And then make sure that that front face is highlighted. You see how it's highlighted compared to now the top face? So highlight it first, then go to the midpoint here of the edge of this top line and click. And you'll see that the circle is now drawn on that face. You can type in 0.5 and enter. Now I'm going to pick up here radius. Circles on a radius, do the same thing. Highlight the front face first, then click here at the midpoint and type in 0.625. 0.625 should give me the exact same radius as the box, which represents this opening. Now I can use press pull to bring this shape back on top. So here I'll click on press pull. If you go inside that shape, see now it highlighted, but sometimes you have to hold your shift key down and press the wheel of your mouse to kind of tilt it a little bit, moving your mouse, holding your shift key and the wheel of your mouse to be able to highlight just that shape. You can then, when it's highlighted, click, pull your mouse back, and then instead of typing in 0.5, we can just click right here at the end point of the back corner, and it establishes the depth. And now I'm still in press pull. I need to take out this small half circle so I can go inside of it and click, pull my mouse all the way back and click, and it takes out any solids that it intersects, and it creates solids here when it's not intersecting into another solid. So that's kind of cool because it helped us to create this piece. Now we do have unioning. At this point we do have here this extra circle that we need to erase. Sometimes it's hard to select an object that is on top of a solid shape, right? You end up getting the solid shape instead of the object. One way to select an object that's underneath another one is to use what's called selection cycling. It's actually the second icon here from the end. I'll go ahead and turn that on. With selection cycling on, if you get close to an edge that has several objects, when you select that object, you'll have a menu that shows all the different objects that are close to it. So you can select the circle or the solid shape. So I'll select the circle and then I'll pick erase. Now I want to turn off selection cycling because it does continue when you're selecting objects. Right now we have 4 pieces that are individual pieces, and we can union those. So in the solid editing panel up here, I'm going to click on this icon that's kind of 2 blue circles, and then I'll select all 4 of my objects. You can click in space and pull your mouse across here, or you can just click each one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then enter. So normally we would create layers for the viewport and plot in the layout 1. But what happens if we were in a different view? Maybe we like a view that looks sort of like that, and we didn't have a specific view that's a preset view. We could go to, and let's do this together, let's make this a part of our assignment. Go to the View tab and go to View Manager, and in View Manager we can click on New and then type in a name. Make it, My View, or Plotted View. Plotted View. Either way, go ahead and pick OK, and then pick OK. You just saved a view, so that now when you go to Coordinates, which are here already in the View tab. There's a whole Coordinates panel here also. You can go to this drop down and pick View. In the bottom left corner of the Coordinates panel, there's a drop down here. You can pick View as a tool. You've saved this specific view, and now it's here. Z is coming towards you. You can go to the Annotate tab and use multi-line text here to place your title. I'm going to go ahead and click, pull my mouse across and click, and type in with the cap locks on whatever assignment this is for you. Could be a different number, and then your name. And then highlight this title and pick U for underline. Pick inside the CAD, inside the screen, and notice here that we placed our title, and now we can do a window plot. Now if you think this is a little big, seems a little bit big, let's go ahead and double click on that text, highlight the whole thing, and we'll change this from 0.2, just click right on the number 0.2, and let's try 0.18 possibly. See, that's a little bit smaller, maybe 0.17. See how it's starting to get a little bit smaller? I'll click out in the AutoCAD screen, and now I have here a text that looks right. I can then, when I plot it, I can go to Plot and change the printer, whatever printer you're using. And so now when I do a window in this drop down here, I'm going to click a point, pull my mouse across, click a point, change my here plot style table to monochrome. I'll pick yes for the layouts, apply it to the layout. Actually, let's put a check mark and center the plot, and then apply it to the layout and pick preview. When you pick preview, you'll see that here is your detail with the title. Okay, I'm going to cancel out of this. So go ahead and save your file based on the assignment number, and we should go back and put here this file in the coordinates panel to back to the world. And so now if you start to rotate here using your shift key and the wheel of your mouse, you see how the text is still there. The text is there for printing. You can put it on a separate layer if you'd like to turn it on and off. But now that you've saved that view, you can go over to the View tab, and in this drop down of views right here, there is your plotted view, my plotted view, or whatever you called it, and it brings you right back to that same view that you needed when you printed. Okay, great. Save your file and let me know if you have any questions. I'm here to help you.